Russian plane grounded at Toronto Pearson for more than a year seized by Canadian government.
Here's a summary of the article.
A Russian-registered cargo aircraft that has been grounded at Toronto Pearson Airport for more than a year has been seized by the Canadian government, Global Affairs Canada announced Saturday. The aircraft, an Antonov 124, is believed to be owned by a subsidiary of Volga-Dnepr Airlines LLC and Volga-Dnepr Group, two entities against which Canada recently imposed sanctions due to their actions in the war against Ukraine, according to a press release issued Saturday by Global Affairs. According to Global Affairs, this seizure is the first in the Government of Canada's plan of action to put pressure on Russia to stop its war against Ukraine by straining its economy and limiting its access to resources that fuel the war. This is the first physical asset seized by Canada under this regime and the second seized under the Special Economic Measures Act. A Russian-registered Antonov AN-124 owned by Volga-Dnepr sits on the tarmac at Pearson Airport in Toronto on Monday, March 21, 2022. Should the asset ultimately be forfeited to the Crown, Canada will work with the government of Ukraine on options to redistribute this asset to compensate victims of human rights abuses, restore international peace and security, or rebuild Ukraine, reads the announcement. Today, Canada is sending a clear message to the Russian regime that there will be nowhere left to hide for those who support and profit from the Kremlin's war of aggression, Mélanie Joly, Minister of Foreign Affairs, said in the press release.
This post received a score of 8,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than the owner of the plane has been billed 74 cents per minute to park at Toronto Pearson, the Greater Toronto Airports Authority (GTAA) told CTV News Toronto in April 2022, which adds up to $1,065.60 for each 24-hour period, according to the GTAA.
This is not the first time Canada has grounded a Russian plane. After Putin and his thugs seized a Russian hotel owned by Canadian businessman Ken Rowe about 20 years or so ago and the corrupt Russian courts wouldn't do anything, Ken Rowe used his contacts in the government to get a Russian oligarch's plane held at a Canadian airport until Putin agreed to pay him his costs for the hotel.
This is a close second to the guy who asked for a coup d'état in Guatemala because their president cared for his people. The nerve on that guy. Edit. Grammar. Their president.
I enjoyed seeing it proudly displayed on the ramp spot closest to the highway.
Oh, that's what that is. Every time I'm near there I'm just amazed by the size of that thing.
Its bigger cousin was the one that Russia destroyed in its hangar in Ukraine.
Opposite, the Mriya was larger, developed from the An-124 and also the only one in the world.
How is it opposite? I said its bigger cousin.
Sad that it has come this. Back in the 2000s, Volga-Dnepr partnered up with Ukrainian Antonov Airlines and had a contract with NATO, delivering stuff to Afghanistan. Those were the days, eh?
Man, I miss the 2000s. No matter if you were American, Russian, British or Ukrainian, we got along well and actually maintained world peace.
Buddy, let me tell you about how we felt in that 5 minutes between the fall of the Berlin Wall and the invasion of Kuwait. Some might even call it the end of history.
These layover times are getting crazy in Toronto.
Give it to Ukraine. Russia owes them a heavy-lift cargo plane, don't they?
Evidently Canada's one step ahead of you. Say what you will about Justin Trudeau. The man's a real one.
I rarely like all the political positions of any one person, but he seems to be a decent dude. Compared to what we had a few years back?
Repaint it, give it back to Ukraine.
They are
loaded up with shells, missiles and Orkbane.
Throw in some poutine and a couple of 2-4s while we're at it.
That's a funny way to spell maple syrup. ?
No smoking. Maple syrup.
Load up with butter tarts and bullets and send it to Ukraine.
Was announced that it will be turned over to the Ukrainian government.
Great. Load it up with goodies and let him have it.
The worst part is the drink cart only came by twice that whole time.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.